Don't create the business with the hope that your friends and family are going to buy from you.
What can I do? What should I do? To not only rely on a one stream of income, at least let me look for plan B, two or three income out there. So the challenge that comes within now in between, I'm a mom, there's no way I can go to work. I have to look after my kids. So you find there's only one income stream which husband does provide at the end of the week, which isn't just enough. How am I going to cope with this? This isn't enough. I need to do something to make an addition. I need to add up. A plan B should come in.
Okay, so how can I help you?
Can I just start with a question or should I start on how I landed here?
Which one is most important to you? The question?
Okay, I think let me go straight forward to the question.
If the information on how you landed here is going to be helpful in answering the question, then you can start with how you landed here.
Okay, I think let me just start from there. Yeah, okay, first of all, I'm a mom of 4 kids, 2 girls and 2 boys. I'm 29 years old. At the same time, I'm a wife to my husband, Michael. We arrived in Canada from Namibia to Canada. We arrived, that was 2019, just I think 3 or 4 months before the COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so landing in a new country as a diaspora, and then in the middle of that crisis, COVID, so you can just see how everything was a mess. We started just everything just started as a mess. So up till now, you come, you find out things, the way how things work. So with the mind that we come into these countries with such a mind that we come with, we think like, okay, this is where we're going. So in your mind, you are coming with your mind knowing that, wow, if Africa things were difficult, okay, so probably here things are easy. So that's the kind of mind you come with. So not knowing, when you land here, that's when you start to come and start living and seeing the true realities of these countries that we are into.
Mm-hmm.
Which they're very good countries, but now the reality itself, when you thought of, that kind of a mind, things are easy. And then when you are now into the ground, and when you start seeing things, and you're like, oh, so is this how things are? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a very big. First of all, it has to hit you by surprise. So, okay, you begin to learn, you begin to learn the ways of how you have to live in this country and stuff like that. Okay, you begin to adapt and understand, oh, all right, so this is not how the way things are, or this is not the way how things run. So this is the way how things run, you know? So you just have no choice than to adapt yourself and start living the same way you find the people are living.
Mm-hmm.
So what disappoints you at the end of the day is now when you start seeing those realities, such as, okay, well, this is, you find yourself, you the expenses are beginning to be way too much. Not to talk of the bills, not to talk of the tax itself. It's really hectic.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we might forget a bit about the bills, but the tax, that's the most biggest challenge that people and everybody else that I know since I'm here, that's really their challenges. You understand? So
What
if
aspect of the
things
tax
were
you're
the way
referring to?
just so think if things were the way as if things were to be the way just as normal, okay, this is just the price itself. Apart from tax, I don't think people could have a big issue with that. But now, plus tax, which you find like where I am here in Nova Scotia, Halifax, our tax percent is 15%.
Yep.
So you come to think of, okay, it's not even a one-time tax that you go in a store, you buy, and then you just pay tax, it's over, you're not gonna do that again. That's a daily life. Every day you wanna buy something, you wanna do it, it's just all about tax. So at the end of the day, you're like, oh my goodness. Is this the way things are? So you can wake up in the morning, you have the cash on the right hand. In the afternoon, on the left side, you don't have money. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
especially we, the people that have kids, 4, 5, 6, 10, and so forth, really, it's. I don't even know how such mothers are coping out there. If me with 4 kids, I don't find it funny. Now, what about the person who has 5 to 10 or more than that kids? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you came to think, you're like, oh my goodness, so is this how things are? What now? You begin to look for plan B. What can I do? What should I do to not only rely on a one stream of income? At least let me look for a plan B, 2 or 3 income out there. So the challenge that comes within now in between, I'm a mom, there's no way I can go to work. I have to look after my kids. So you find there's only one income stream which husband has to work and provide at the end of the week, which isn't just enough. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Though with our kids' income it helps really, but as they grow up from 6 upwards, everything began to go down. So you understand? So you think, oh, if the second one also she turns 6, it's gonna go down. The third one 6 is gonna go down. So you ask yourself, how am I going to cope with this? This isn't enough. I need to do something to make an addition. I need to add up. A plan B should come in.
Mm-hmm. So if
You
I get
understand?
it very well, right now your main issue is the expenses are too much higher than the income that you guys are able to make.
Definitely. The reason why I say so, let me explain myself. The reason why I say so is because when we first arrived here, our first year, we were renting in a 2 bedroom apartment with everything, and the amount that we used to pay was 1,200 and something. And that time, husband no work, no nothing. You're just relying on the government and the kids' income. So that time I had 3 kids. That gave me like if the income comes, that's 1.5. So you are in a 1.2 and something house. So you think of paying, and what about the rest of the bills, which the money is gone. You have nothing. So you had to make sacrifices, even with your kids' income, which isn't right according to law, which I know, which isn't first of all right. Because once everything is done with a bit, what about the kids? What are they left to survive on? They need this, they need that, they need, and everything in the stores are just expensive when it comes to kids. So you ask yourself, how do I handle this one? Not to talk of the other bills, not to talk of. And then 2021, in the beginning of the year, in January, after New Year last year, my husband was involved in a car accident, so he was down for about 6 months. He's down, not doing anything, and that time I'm pregnant with my fourth child. So if not that I can stand for myself and raise my voice and speak out wherever I go, whoever I meet, in what offices I go and knock out for help, I wouldn't be in this situation. I thank God, because each day I go to visit my doctor will ask me, do you have anything else to add? And I'm like, yes, doctor. So I begin to tell them my situation. I'm in a 2 bedroom apartment. My first child is coming. My husband is down. Everything is just not, yeah, I mean, you begin to become frustrated more than that. You understand where I'm coming from? So even if the compensation with my husband's work, still it wasn't enough.
Okay. So I have a bunch of questions for you. So you mentioned something that it is not right according to law, something about the income. What do you mean by that?
Okay, yeah, because first of all, when you tell somebody that, me, because of no any other income, so I don't have any choice than you have to pay the bills. It's a must. You have to pay the bills. They don't wanna know in what way you wanna pay it, but you have to pay them. So you look at my side, I don't work. So what do I have to do? I have no choice than to receive my kids' income and do what? And make amends with the bills. You understand? Even
Mm-hmm.
if I have a little to leave for the kids and stuff like that, That's just the end of the day. The
Okay.
income is gone. So
Okay.
when you are given a housing, metro housing, because that's where I am right now, a government house. Yeah. So when I came, when I applied for this house, they asked me questions like, "Do you work?" And I'm like, "No, I don't work, but my husband does." Okay, because he was working. That's when I was granted this house. So if we weren't working, we couldn't get this house. So they told, then they have to say that no, we don't look on the kids' income. So that's the reason why I mentioned that. So it's like within the government offices and departments, they don't look at the kids' income. They look on what you earn
Mm-hmm.
and what's your monthly salary. Exactly. That's what I meant by that.
Okay. Certain things that if you had known when you just got into the country, you would have been able to orientate yourself in a certain way. And right now we are 2 years in, and you're there's a bunch of things I have to change. So you're 29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you work?
Okay, that's a very good question. First of all, it I have to begin with in a state where I am. Halifax, Nova Scotia is such a small place. So, in terms of now talking about daycares, they aren't really that much daycares like we used to hear from other states. Daycares are just everywhere you go, you can just find a daycare anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same as Halifax. So first of all, even if you are to be under the government for you to apply, they can support you. Still, to find it, it's just not easy. It's not. Either you find they can have your two older kids and your two old little one, they can't have them. That's just the way it is, and that's why I'm here with my two little one. I had registered my two kids, the ones that are at school right now. The next door to mine, there is a Salvation Army. That's where they go after school for their fun. So for them, they are not qualified because of their ages.
Mm-hmm.
So you begin to look around. Okay, where can they qualify? Where can, and you can go there and ask and stuff. They will be like, okay, maybe come next year. Imagine I was there. I said 2 years ago, and I was just told come next year. Uh, try next year. So you see what I'm saying?
Okay. And
Exactly.
school kids start school at the age of 5, around the age of 5. So the bigger ones are in school right now, correct?
Exactly.
So the two small ones are able to go to that same daycare that said you should come next year, and they would have space for two kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you put them there so you can be able to go out and do some work?
Well,
But you haven't
okay.
checked, you haven't thought about doing that.
No, I've done that. I even applied for subsidy. I've done that already.
Subsidy for daycare?
Exactly.
Okay.
They were, yeah, they were able. So what they told me was, okay, you just need to find get a place, and then the rest we will follow that. Up till now,
Yes.
even get a place. Imagine.
So there's so many. How many places have you looked at? Like how often do you look for a place, and do you how many have you applied to, or have you stopped applying for the
Um,
spots for daycare?
let me say
You
at
apply
least five and above.
like this year, or like how often? So the thing I'm saying is,
Uh,
one thing that I believe is that every problem has a solution if we're willing to
exactly.
find a solution.
That I know. Uh-huh.
Okay. So there are definitely daycares. Maybe there are not a lot. I live in Quebec. There are a lot of daycares in Quebec. Some are subsidized, some are not subsidized.
Uh-huh.
And it's hard to find a spot in the daycares that are subsidized, but it's not impossible. And
Uh-huh.
the daycares that are not subsidized are available. But when you put your kids there, then you can get the subsidy from the government, which covers part of the daycare expense. It's still going to be expensive, but it's probably going to be better for you to do that so you can also get out of the house and go and do some work. That's one option. If you wanted to look into like finding a solution to that daycare thing, because right now it's just two kids that need to go to daycare, and the two bigger kids would end up in the spot at the Salvation Army, you said, which is after school.
Uh-huh.
The other thing you mentioned is that taxes, like you have an issue with the taxes, but one thing that you don't realize is because everybody pays taxes, that you're able to receive the money from the government for the things that you currently receive. Like you sit home, you don't do a job per se, but you're
Uh-huh.
receiving an income from the government every single day. Where do you think that comes from?
No, I know from tax exactly.
So you have to pay your share, because
Yeah.
if you have to pay your share so that the government can do what it's doing to be able to help the people. I pay taxes, and I can sit and be complaining that yes, the taxes are high. But when
Mm-hmm.
you look at what you get, when you're sick, you go to the hospital. When you go to the doctor takes care of you, you don't pay anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to pay for the doctor, then you would understand that the tax amount that you pay is nothing compared to what you would pay for seeing a doctor. You understand, right?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but let me
Yes.
cut you. Just hold on from there. Let me just. I want to make this something clear.
Mm-hmm.
When I spoke about tax, I don't say it, or I don't mean that in a bad way. No, no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. No, complaining that it or maybe it meant like it wasn't supposed to be there. No, no, it was. But for me, I have to complain things expensive because I'm not working.
Yeah.
More compared to somebody who's working. You get that?
Yeah.
This is what I mean exactly.
Yeah, but to be able to do all of that, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. You have to either sacrifice in your time or in the money or something. Like right now, because a little bit about me, I have kids. I have 3 kids.
Uh huh.
I'm married as well. I'm here in Quebec.
Okay.
And my kids right now, the two bigger ones are at school and the younger one is
Mhm.
in daycare. But there was a time when they were all at daycare. And I know it's hard, but it's not impossible. And there are things that you can do online from your house if there are skills that
I'm,
you're able to
I'm
work on.
already I'm already in the process to that, but just I'm stuck with the financial.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're trying to do and what is it that's keeping you stuck?
Okay, first of all, myself by nature, I'm somebody who sees and believe in myself, and that's just the true definition of me. In short, let me say I'm a person who's called by the name unstoppable. This is first of all me.
Hmm.
I'm this person. You are there. You can tell me that happy. You know what? There is a way to money. You show me the way. For me, I won't look how far the place is or how dark that place might be. I will just, as long as you show me that that's just the way, I'll go straight forward to search for it. This is the person I am. So for me, being in a situation that I am right now, first of all, I'm very much uncomfortable with it. Very much uncomfortable with it, and I just don't like it. But you see, you look around, you look at this side, I'm stuck with the kids. So at times you look, okay, if I didn't have kids by now, I'm doing something somewhere. Okay, but then you look at yourself again as a Christian and say, okay, it's a matter of I thank God for everything.
The same situation that you are in, do you have some other friends in Nova Scotia who are also struggling with, I don't have a place to go and keep my kids and I can't work? Do you have some friends who are struggling with that?
There are a lot around me, just here around me, a lot whereby it came to give me an idea at some point. I'm like, okay, why can't why can't I open my own private daycare? You
That's
know,
a question I was going to ask you.
so you see all that I've just tried all over the corners. So it came to give me an idea. I'm just this person that ideas pops out just like that. I think of plan B, C, C, D up to Z at the same time,
Hmm.
wanting a solution. So when I saw because I have so many that comes to me, and they bring their kids to me. Oh, I'm going to Walmart. Can you look after my kids? Just like that. No, no
Hmm.
problem. Leave them. They are kids. They'll play around with the others and stuff like that. They will go 1 hour, 2 hours. I don't mind. Whatever time you come and take your
Hmm.
kids.
Hmm.
So it came to a point I thought like, okay, why can't I run a daycare of my own? Since I
Hmm.
have kids at home, I can still look after other kids while earning something at the end of the day. But then you come to look around, you're like, okay, where do I start? How do I start from? So you ask around and you are told it has to be registered, it has to be known by the government. And I'm like, okay, the procedures, how do I go about it? Who do I see? Who do I what? And then you ask other people themselves, they're like, everybody's complaining of income. You understand? Because she also doesn't go to work. She also doesn't go to work. She doesn't work. So the end of the day, no one is to will be able to pay the other one. So
But there is a solution. No, you're looking at the problem. You found a
yeah.
solution, but you're focusing on the problem. I want you to focus on the solution. You need income.
Mhm.
They need income. They need income to be able to pay for the services that you're going to be offering them. So the solution is, if you are a person who likes to take care of kids and you have it in your heart that you can open a daycare, then your
Mhm.
goal is, I have to do everything that I need to do to open a daycare. If you have somebody who is going to watch after your kids, you're going to go find a job, right?
Mhm.
But if you become the person that's looking after all the kids, they are going to go find jobs and they are going to have the money to pay you for looking after the kids.
Exactly.
And so instead of everybody sitting in their house and wondering who's going to take care of my kids, they know a place where they can bring all the kids to, and then they can go out and do the jobs. And you are doing a job as well. Because right now you're already caring for the kids, but nobody's paying you for it. And they are not getting any money for themselves as well, because they don't think they can leave their kids with you for the full 7 hours a day to go and find a job that can pay them. And so the question that, if you want to leave here today with one thing, is, what is it going to take for you to start a home daycare? Do you have space in your home to start a daycare?
Yeah, because this is a four-bedroom house, so I have the downstairs space. Nothing is there. Nobody lives in there, so
Exactly. So you have the space already.
I can arrange there, and everything begins from there.
Okay. So what does it take to have a daycare in Nova Scotia? Legally, what are you required to have to do?
According to, because I've not that I've done research online, but I've done research for people that I found in here for a very long time, so they are aware and have enough information about it. So I try to do research in few people, even some of the white people that in my church I try to do. So I ask, if I want to do this and do this and do that, what is required, what do I need to do? And we're like, okay, if you want to start it in your own home or do it in your own home, which means you have to it has to be registered. It has to be under the government. The government has to know about it, that this is what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing, for it to be able to be paying tax.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So how do I go about it? Okay, I think that's where I ended up. I did not go through much because I was during my pregnancies and stuff like that, and I went through section labor, so the healing process and everything else. That's when everything just shattered. And
Yeah. But you
like,
see that you have the solution, right?
exactly.
Because if you, from anything you've probably seen on my videos online,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't think there's a problem that doesn't have a solution, but we need to be willing to
And that
find
is
that solution.
what I believe into. Where there are people, it's where the solution gonna come from.
Yes. So
As
if
long
you
as then there will be no solution.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when you live in this call today, you're supposed to have this homework for yourself. Your job for the next couple of days is to figure out what it takes to start a home daycare.
Mm-hmm.
What does it take to start a home daycare? Ask the people who have the daycares. If they can't give you the answer, call the government. Call the government office that takes care of the daycare stuff and ask them, you want to create a home daycare, what do you need to do? And they're going to tell you, because it's a problem that needs to be solved. There are lots of people, because the government spends money every single day to take care of families like yourself and lots of other families.
Mm.
There's no way that they wouldn't want people to go out and go and make more income. And so they will give you the information that you need. Yes, there are going to be procedures that have to be done. Maybe you're going to have to pay something. Maybe you're going to have to fix something in your house. Maybe. Those are things that they are putting in place so that you are in conformity. Because if, for example, you take your child to go and give to another person to care for, you want to know that that person is going to do everything according to the way it's supposed to be done.
Uh-huh.
So, in the same way, you have to do the same thing so that when people are coming to drop their kids with you, they know that you are a legal daycare. They're dropping their kids there. They're going to get their tax receipts at the end of the year to be able to claim the money also on their tax return. And with all of that, you have to start filing the taxes. But what is it that is going to take to start a home daycare? Maybe you need to create a company, maybe not. But call them. If it's just that you can do it as yourself, so it's just your name and then it becomes your daycare or something. That way you start to get income, you're going to report it on your own income tax return. But if they say you have to create a company, then it's about creating the company and doing it all there. But I think you can start a home daycare in your name. The point is you have to register because they need to know that there is a daycare being run in that facility, in that place.
Okay. Uh-huh. That's really opens my brain. That's all I can say. Okay, apart from the daycare issues, there is apart from daycares, I've tried to do like clothing businesses. Trying to send things from Africa. Clothing for men and women. I've tried that, but when you bring things here, nobody even wants to buy. Nobody even so, which means there's no support. My money just went just like that.
Hmm.
Not no profit, no anything. So I had to drop it. Even up till now, the items I still have them in my house. Nobody wants to buy, but they rather prefer. They wanna buy. They wanna drink. They wanna do this. But they don't want to support. Unlike me, I'm a supporter of so many good things. If I see my neighbor doing something, I support. I buy from it because I know it's all about supporting each other. Today it's you, tomorrow it's me. That's what I believe. But now I came to see when it comes to me, I have no one to support me.
Let me correct something right there. If you're ready to take action on your life today, check the link in the description below. You will get some free resources that you will get started on today. Don't make a business with the hope that your friends and family are going to buy from you. A business that you're making is a business that should be solving a problem. I've never bought since I came here. I've never bought African fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I don't like it. I love it. But it's not solving a problem for me. And I have people who sell that and I'll never go and buy. It's not because they are selling that I have to go and buy to support them. It doesn't contribute anything to me. But I pay for daycare every day. I go to Walmart all the time to buy food because that is a problem that needs solution. Hunger is a problem that needs to be solved. Clothing is a problem that needs to be solved, but they have clothes. But if they're coming to buy the fabric directly from you, is because they are coming to support you. So you cannot create a business hoping that your friends and family are going to be the ones who are going to become your customers. You see, you and me on this call right now,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know me,
Exactly.
but you're calling me because I have something to offer you. I have a service that you need right now.
Definitely.
That's how you're supposed to create a business, that it's not because somebody knows you that they're going to come to you, it's because you have a solution to a problem that you have a solution to a problem that they have. And so yes, the clothes from Africa, it's a nice feeling thing to do, but it's not a business you want to run because it's not solving a problem.
But do you know what's funny enough?
What is it?
What's funny enough, before you even jump into that business, you even ask, you're like, okay, guys, what do you see? I want to start bringing this and this and this and this for you guys. Are you ready to support me? And they'll be like, yes, we are ready. No problem. Just bring. We are ready. And sometimes you go to a party, you are dressing all fine, looking good. They are the first people to ask you, oh, where did you get this? Where did you get your? They are, oh, you just like looking good on your own yourself. Why don't you bring for us to buy? And okay, you are getting inspired through their ways. I'm like, oh, okay. So if I bring what I do well and I look good. Okay, which means you understand. I can do the sales. So once you bring them,
So what
nothing.
have you learned from that? What
No.
have you learned from that?
Oh my goodness. I'm like, okay, it's okay. I don't want to regret my money that I spend with all that, the shipping and stuff, fabricating the clothes, the
Mhm.
people you pay them. I don't want to see that. It's okay to lose because end of the day, it's gonna bring you a win one day, a win in return.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
didn't end up there. I did not even, and I just left. I said, no problem.
Yeah.
There is another way out. So I started beating my mind. I'm like, okay, this one didn't work. What else can I do? Last year in December, I got inspired by someone online. They were talking about Bitcoin, and it was just few days to Christmas. I'm like, oh, all these, testimonies. Okay, if these people can do this, which means I can also do it. You understand? And so I jumped into that online. Bitcoin. I invested with my money $500. Few days to Christmas. Imagine last year. So okay, you said if I invest this, I'm gonna get this in return. Yes, yes. So they take you into all the process. You do that. You send the money. You do this and that. You are now waiting for the return. You're now waiting for the feedback. End of the day, you reach there, they're like, you need to purchase for about 1,000 and 2,000. You're like, what? But you told me if I do this with 500, this is what I get. What's up? Oh no, you need to buy the gold. I don't know gold what or silver what. Silver it's 1,000 and gold it's a 2,000. I'm like, hmm?
Let me tell you something. If you want to put your money in Bitcoin, be ready to lose it. Let it be money you're ready to lose. You can make money, but very likely you're going to lose money. So if you're going to put money into Bitcoin, make sure it's money you're ready to lose. Did you lose the money?
That's just the answer to that.
All of it, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Because people get into those things without understanding it. Because here's the thing, a lot of people are going to go online and they're sharing testimonies about this. But the point is, at the time that they are sharing testimonies, they are sharing at the point when they have already made the profit. Now,
Uh-huh.
when you want to buy, maybe they bought here at 200 and the at this time it's all the way up here. They've made money on it and they are telling you about it. When you come to buy, you're buying up here at the high price. And then
Uh-huh.
very soon it goes down and you lose the money and you say, oh, Bitcoin doesn't work. Well, you bought it at the wrong time. That's one thing. Number two, you had no idea what it is you were doing. You got in because somebody said, buy this thing, buy this thing, buy this thing. And so you went and bought it. That is
Exactly.
not a business. Bitcoin is not a business. Bitcoin is still being experimented in certain ways. Some people are making a lot of money on it, but most people are losing money on it. And so if you're going to put your money in Bitcoin, make sure it's money you're ready to lose.
And the people that are getting out of it, those are just the people that just knows this is the right way to go, but they won't tell you about it.
Yes. So don't get into something that you haven't asked the questions to understand it very well. How do I make money in this thing? And so when I'm suggesting to you a business, which is something that you already need, like what is a problem that you can solve for yourself that you can also solve for a lot of people? Childcare. You have a business in your hand. It's going to take work to do it. But because it's going to take work to do it, it makes it look like, that's too much work. I don't want to do it. Oh, there's too much red tape. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to. Yes. But that is the thing that's going to make you money. If you start a daycare, you have registered it the way it's supposed to be registered, and you tell the 10 families in your area that are having the same problem as you, they're going to say, I need to bring my kid to you. How much is it? And you have a price which is according to what you have said with the government. That is the price for your daycare. If they're going to put their kids in the daycare that's registered somewhere else, they would pay that amount. And that's the same amount they're going to pay to you. Now, it's your job to make sure that everything is in conformity with the way it's supposed to be. If it says daycare, home daycare, I think there's a limit on how many kids you can have in there. So those are things that you need to call the government and make sure you have all of that in place. But if it gets to a point where you see that there's so many more clients than the space that is available in your home, then what is it you want to do? Maybe you want to start expanding. Maybe you want to now actually go and find a place that you're going to rent and start having even up to 80 children coming there. Because in your own house, there are 4 children. Okay, now 2 are grown, but the 2 left. It's going to solve the problem for you because you will have your children in there. And it's going to solve the problem for, let's say there are 10 families out there that have 4 kids each. That's already 40 children. And there's so many people having the same problem that you have right now. And they would pay you the amount for it to have their children in there. It's just a lot of work. But if you're willing to put in the work to make it happen, then you have a business for yourself and you solve the problem of all this income.
Wow. 100% and very well spoken.
To watch me coach another newcomer, click on the link right here next to me. I think you'll love it.